You hear a lot of chatter about the human birth world, Earth. There's fauna there that'll take a Leskari Pride warrior's head clean off in a single swipe of its paw, and it'll do it for no other reason than you were there. And then there's the flora. Plants that are so poisonous that the great Griska General Falka was brought low just by brushing up against one. Sure, their planet is terrifying, and that says a lot about the humans. But the thing a lot of people forget when discussing Earth is that the humans don't just survive those hairy beasts they called grizzlies, or learn to avoid those plants. No, they hunt the grizzlies, and in some cases eat or smoke or make fucking tea from those plants. And they do it for fun. As a fucking leisure activity. They bring their goddamn kids along and call it family bonding. Now, I've seen a Leskari hunt, and I've seen a human hunt. The big difference is that the Leskari will always hunt in such a way that it can get a kill with as little time and effort as possible. They kill with a single blow. A human? Yeah, they'll go for a single blow when they can, but sometimes when a single blow isn't reasonable, or just when they're feeling sporting, they'll drag it out. They'll wound the prey a few times, and then back off, follow it home, and hurt it there. They'll make sure that it knows that nowhere is safe, and when it's finally exhausted from running, they move in and take its life. Like they took its hope. It's grim, it's brutal, and in a sense it's beautiful to watch. Humans are fucking machines. My first contact with the Earthers was when I was with the maintenance crew on a tech runner ship. We were docking on one of the Wolf 259 orbitals to offload some new prototypes and such. You know the sort of place to expect when you do this job. An orbital with no expense spent. That mild but constant burning plastic smell. Cramped warrens and water that has been recycled too many times. Imagine my shock when I stepped through that airlock. Huge vaulted halls of polished stone, stained glass over the armorplex windows, colored cloth hanging on some of the pillars depicting who knows what, and a beautifully scented atmosphere. The entire place was a palace. First thoughts are that you have been sent to first class, by mistake, and they're going to charge you extra. But no, I checked and we found the right door. I vaguely remembered that the culture that owned Wolf 259 and surrounding environs had started hiring new construction workers. Some ass-backward nobodies from an uninhabited ball of rock. A nightmare planet. Atmosphere so thin as to be nearly a vacuum. Constantly irradiated by the local star. Temperature variations like you wouldn't believe. And a huge moon pulling all the fluid up the shoreline at regular intervals. What you expect from a world like that is a race of hyperviolent thugs. Savages with primitive tech and a simplistic, almost animal view of the universe. But from what I heard, they were near useless as soldiers, and most of them had strict prohibitions on killing and violence, and then punished those that transgressed those prohibitions. What you do not expect is a species of engineers, scientists, and charity workers. Utopian worlds at the galactic hub should produce those. That's logical. Nightmare planets produce nightmare people. And enlightened worlds produce enlightened people. Nightmare planets should not, by any logic, produce a culture of near-pacifistic, spiritual construction workers. I was still marveling at the recuperation lounge when I saw one of them. It takes a while for you to get perspective in a place like that, and it was quite some distance away. but it must have been nearly twice my height, clad in a gleaming armored carapace of polished armor, biped with 2 manipulatory appendages and some sort of stubby sensory appendages on top of it all. It was some primeval horror from a terrible world, clad in armor that could shrug off artillery fire and physically powerful enough to rip most people in half. And they build wonders for other people. To this day, no one has found out what they look like under that shell. You know why people tolerate the humans? Because they're fucking useful. They're the greediest people in the galaxy, but if it weren't for them, it would be blasted near uninhabitable. The orbital microgravity lab you work in? Human engineers built that. The hydroponic farms that keep this colony fed? Humans designed it. That spider platform that's making the planet's agriculture possible? Humans. The anti-infection kits that identify the presence of foreign bacteria and tell you what chemical compound to use to destroy it without destroying the food? Humans. The food itself? Humans. No, I'm kidding. Put that down. Look, what I'm saying is that sometimes it's worth putting up with people you don't like. The galaxy is more stable for their presence, even if their manners take some getting used to. The infrastructure of the galaxy isn't easy to maintain. And what do they ask for in return? Something they save us anyway. Money. So deal with it. Sometimes it's best not to fight those battles. If there's one thing they say about us humans, boy, it's that we don't know when to quit. The bomb was a pretty big deal back for us in the 20th. But I bet you didn't know that we're the only species to have used one in a war. Shit, the big war the Halvachi had was ended when one side presented the maths behind it. Their deterrent was, keep pissing us off and we'll make it. The Dobva did a little better. They actually built the damn things and said, keep pissing us off and we'll drop it. But humans? We came right out of the gate with, keep pissing us off and we'll drop it again. Don't know when to quit. That's where stormtroopers come from, you know. Everybody else saw nukes as their ticket to planetary peace. Even the aliens with balls just saw nukes as a way to end wars. To save lives in the long run. In the late 21st, some genius at Marscom decided that thermonuclear MIRV weapons with multi-megaton warheads that were launched in fucking swarms. He decided that these things wouldn't end wars. They'd start them. And things would get worse from there. Can you believe it? A real optimist. That was his vision. A soldier that would wade through nuclear fire and ash and clear bunkers and plant old Bluey on some shitpot alien world. They were his legacy. The Firewalkers. The second wave of Armageddon. Over time, the Firewalker upgrades were rolled out across all of our forces. Designation changed to Stormtrooper because of some goddamn bureaucrat or something. And you know what? I'll bet that there's another optimist in human space, out there somewhere, coming up with a way to keep aliens pissed scared of us. Those guys are one per generation, and they're the reason that a human world has been contested once. Just once. Here's to those who don't know when to quit. Thanks for tuning in to another tale as told by Cloak and Dagger Narrations. If you enjoyed the story, please feel free to show it with a like or a comment, and throw a subscription my way to hear more. Or, if you'd like to help support the channel and keep these stories going, you can consider flinging money wildly in the direction of my Patreon. Or, check the paypal.me link for a one-time, money flinging opportunity. If you want something in return for your money flinging, apart from the sultry sounds of my voice, there's a Teespring link down in the description. Wear the logo and send more people here to join you in money flinging. Or you can check the Drive-Thru RPG affiliate link to pick up some rulebooks and start making stories of your own. Thank you.